Hey guys, Aaron back here. Best intro ever. It's Aaron. Sorry, I just got back from work, so I'm really kind of tired and everything, but I wanted to make a quick video on what I just made. A really simple ring. I'm gonna get that out of the shot because I'll talk about it later. So, there's this, I don't know, I've really liked the idea of making rings out of things that aren't metal because whenever you find rings or you look at rings or something, you generally see like, this really cool shiny metal or diamond or something. So I wanted to find a way to kind of make a really nice and pretty ring that you can use as a promise ring or just wear it and actually have a little bit of dignity about it. So just a few, I wouldn't really say simple ways or anything, but a lot definitely cheaper aspects to make a ring for yourself that most likely nobody else will have, and it's cheap, and it'll, if you're better at sanding than I am, then it will actually look real. So first what I'm going to show you is this. It actually looks a lot better on camera. Believe me, the sanding job looks like crap. So I'll show you that it actually fits. I don't see why that would matter, but yeah, I'm doing this with one hand, sorry. So yeah, it actually fits, and somebody glancing at it will say, "Oh yeah, that's a ring." I mean, not a lot of people would actually like really be caring if you're wearing a ring or not, but it actually looks real. On camera, it looks a lot better, but if I can do a close up, it's really like crap. But so what I did was give me one second. This stuff. I haven't made a lot of videos on these, but it's probably my favorite material to use now. It's PVC. So this is 1/2 inch PVC, and that is what I made this out of. As you can see, it's almost just as thick as it. I don't know. Yeah, I used 1/2 inch. But as you can see, it doesn't fit on my finger like at all. So what you have to do, okay, I'll take a step back real quick. The materials that you're going to need to make this, and the reason why I'm not actually making a video on it is because there really isn't any set in stone way. If you want to make it as simple as what I did, just a normal band, then I can literally just talk you through it. You really don't need pictures for it. But otherwise, there's really like no set in stone way to do this. I'm going to set these aside. So what you absolutely need is PVC pipe. Now, of course, everyone's fingers are different. So you find a piece of PVC. So this is 3/4 and this is 1/2. 3/4 is just too big for me. So always go the size down, even if it seems like it just is way too small and it will never fit. Do the smaller one because it's easier to grind out than to try and make a bigger one fit. It's almost impossible. So for me, it was 1/2 inch. I thought that it was going to be impossible, but I was able to grind out a lot, and it looks thin, but it's really it's tough. I mean, normal dropping, it's not going to break. So what you do is now you got to cut it to how thick you want it. Okay, so I just wanted a normal thickness, a normal band. I really apologize for the poor video quality. I have to use my phone. I don't have anything nice. So but yeah, so I just wanted it to be normal thickness. You can have it as thick as you want. As a matter of fact, just kind of a side note, I'm going to be making the One Ring from Lord of the Rings out of this with this method, and I'm actually going to try and sand it down a little bit better. I mean, again, on the video it actually kind of looks nice, but you can kind of see a glimmer of imperfections, and it's kind of uneven, but it's fine for me at least. But yeah, I am going to be making the One Ring, and a lot of you are probably going to be disappointed in it because it's just going to look like a gold ring, and to be perfectly honest, that's what it is. It's just a gold ring. If you ever look up replicas of it, you'll see that it has the etchings in it and everything. When in reality, in the actual movie, there were no etchings. Those just markings that would come up after it's been in a fire. And so that's why I don't really like it whenever replicas actually have etchings in it of it. I mean, yes, then it's easier to see, but it's the actual ring on normal circumstances, just a gold ring. And I know it makes it really boring and it makes it really difficult to understand what it's from. I even don't like the fact of how bland it is. It's just, that's how it is. Now, obviously, that would be very difficult to replicate doing the fire thing. But my dad did bring up a good point. Is what you could do. You make the ring however you want. What you could do is actually, if you had very, very steady hands, a very, very tiny paintbrush, you could actually take paint that would only show up in UV light, and you can actually make the markings like that. So then you don't have any etchings, and you don't have to ruin your ring by throwing it in the fire just to show someone that it works. You can just throw some UV light on it, so at least it would kind of work. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that soon whenever I get some gold paint. So, back to this. A few ways to cut it. What you can do is you can use PVC scissors, probably the easiest and best way to do it, and the straightest, like a way to get the straightest cut. Or the second easiest way is to just saw it off with a handsaw or something. And if you don't want to do that and you don't want to go through a ton of time, you can do what I did. If you have a heat gun, you can just heat the end up. The problem with that is this end will kind of start to fray a little bit. It won't it's not like a string, but it will just mushroom out a little. So that's going to take a little bit more sanding than normal, but it will be okay. But yeah, you just heat it up where you want it to cut. Don't just heat the end up, heat it up where you want to cut it. And then you take scissors and you just snip it. You're going to get a wonky shape afterwards, but you just kind of shape it back into its spot because it should be really nice and hot. You just shape it back to its spot and it should be fine. And then sand. Sand and sand and sand, or if you have a file, it's even better, but yeah. You sand it down to where everything is as flat as you can get. As you can see, mine kind of has a little bit of a dip. And then you can, if you want to have like a normal band, usually they have that kind of nice round on the end. So I did my best to do that. I used a Dremel, but you really don't need one. You can use just sandpaper, which honestly I think is actually better because then, you can go as fast as you want. The Dremel's going at its own speed, so you have a lot more imperfections, like what I have. And then yeah, whenever you have the outside all done, then you can work on the inside. And in this case, the Dremel would be better because it sands out the inside a lot better and a lot more even, to the point where it's not, not lopsided. So yeah, that's really just how you do it if you want a normal band. Hold on one sec, sorry. Yeah. It fits. It's gonna be, and also paint, you can paint it however you want. It's gonna be a little weird though, because whenever you look at it, you'll think, oh, it's, it's a metal ring, and then you pick it up and it's not heavy or anything. It's really misleading, and if you guys make it, you'll know what I mean. You kind of have this weird feeling about it. But I have two different sizes just to show you guys, that you do just grind out the inside, and really this one hardly even fits over my first knuckle. So yeah, that's one way to make a really nice ring that doesn't cost a ton. Another way is you're gonna need a little bit more power tools, and if you have wood shop and you're in high school or something, it's perfect. A wood ring. Mine is actually made out of this purple wood. I'm not gonna remember the name of it. It was just scrap because someone else didn't want it. You can use any kind of wood, really. It fits really nice, and the only problem that I've really noticed with these rings is that you kind of need them a little thick so they don't crack, but I mean, you kind of get used to it. But yeah, hold on one sec. Sorry, it takes a little bit to take that one off. But yeah, these ones look really nice, and at first I wanted to round the edges a little bit, but then I kind of decided not to because it had a little bit more of a natural look with it not rounded. And I know at some points it looks black. It's just from the sanding. This wood is really, really dense, so over sanding it really burnt it. So the way that I did this, you really do need a drill press, but if you just have a drill and a steady vise, that'll work too. So obviously you just find a drill bit that's your ring size. So for me, I just use my ring finger. You can use whichever finger you want. And then before you actually just drill a hole, you need a circle saw. And a circle saw is basically just an attachment onto a drill bit that cuts around. So then you kind of get this circle block out of the wood. You need to find that a few sizes bigger than your ring size, so then you can actually shape it down. Now, if it's too big away, obviously if it's this big away, you want to try and find it smaller, but you don't want to go too snug first. You really kind of want it to be to the point where your fingers are like super spread whenever you put it on. So then you can file it down however you want. And what you do is you kind of go halfway with the circle saw, then you stop. So then you get a good center hole. So then you can actually drill the hole, and then you circle saw over it, and then you get this. Now this isn't particularly, like, I was the first one to come up with it, obviously, but I did kind of just figure out how to do it. But then there are a lot of videos on YouTube that tell you in depth how to do it. So, or if you really want me to, I can tell you guys. It's just I did this all in woodshop at my school, so I can't really show you guys. But yeah, if you want, you can kind of write down the steps. So step 1, find your wood, obviously. Step 2, find your ring size in a drill bit. Step 3, find a circle saw that is a few sizes up. Excuse me. Step 4 is to halfway drill into the wood with a circle saw. Step 5 is to drill out your ring size and make sure that your finger fits through the hole. Step 6 is to drill circle saw the ring completely out and make sure there's a way that you can try and pop it out, because sometimes it will be really difficult. Then step 6 is to sand a lot. That's all that really requires, and if you want to round it out, you can do that. If you don't, that's fine. You are going to want some thickness on it so it doesn't crack or anything. That's really it. Another way, I haven't tried this yet, but you can get like some thin metal and you can just bend it around a wooden dowel or something. I haven't tried that yet. I will at some point. But you can just do that, and then you have a split in the back, so then you can size it however you want. But otherwise, these are the only ways that I've actually made a ring. Oh, one more way that I don't have with me, and I apologize for my voice cracking because, yeah, it's been happening a lot. Another way that I've been able to do it is those really, really cheap flashlights that are about this big. Actually, something kind of like this. You know, they have the buttons in the back, and usually they have this twist-off cap. What I did was I twisted it off, and I cut a little bit of a band, so where the threads were, I don't know exactly where this twists. Perfect, actually. 1 second. So right here, what I did was I pushed the button out, and then you just left with this metal ring. Now, of course, this kind of depends on how big your ring size is, but if it ends up being too small, that's actually perfect, because then you can grind it out. If it's too big, then you're gonna have to kind of wait until you can fit it. But what I did was I cut off the threads very, very, very easily and gently with a scroll saw. You could just sand it down eventually, but I was stupid and decided to try and cut it off. I nearly cut off my fingers. So I wouldn't do that unless you're super skilled. And then you just sand the inside out, and then you kind of have a fashionable ring, and it already has sometimes it has some divots in. Obviously, only do this if the flashlight is cheap, or you don't really care about it, or it's not your main flashlight or whatever. Because this one I'm not doing it because I got it from Loot Crate. But otherwise, yeah, you can do that. Otherwise, if you have any other suggestions for something that I should make or think about making, go ahead and put it in the comments. I am also going to be making another lightsaber soon, so comment down in the comment section, obviously, if you want me to actually show you guys step by step how I do it, because it depends on the lightsaber. But I am going to be doing a replica build because I want to make another replica. Actually, as a matter of fact, I've made a video of this, but if you guys, I'm actually going to be making a video here in a sec on this one. Almost a replica on Luke's. What I kind of wanted to do was incorporate him having an apprentice and his apprentice trying to go off of his master's plans. So I kind of almost got it close, but something like what an apprentice might get. So this one cannot hold a blade because of what I used, but the rest of mine can. But yeah, I am going to be making one of Anakin's lightsabers, so either his first one, the Graflex, or the Highland, which is actually Darth Vader's, but same person. But yeah, so I'll be making a video on this soon if you really want, and, but yeah. Also post in the comments which one you think I should make, if I should make Anakin's first one, Anakin's second one, or Luke's first, or Darth Vader's. And if you guys don't know what those look like, you can look them up, and there is differences. They are slight, but there are differences that would actually make it, me building it, a different experience. So, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.